The water's off.
More than 450 units in this particular complex. As to how many of those are being affected, the majority of them.
It's been crazy. It's been the craziest 2 days.
And you heard right there, hundreds of people in Alexandria going on nearly 3 days now without water.
We're live this morning with how they're coping without water in the middle of summer. But first, Jackie, how's the forecast?
Out there this morning, just tracking a few rain showers back out towards our western zones, but we'll see a few more of those showers and thunderstorms popping up later on this afternoon. All these details and the timing coming up.
And the district attorney general clearing up confusion after restaurant customers are seeing unexplained fees on their bills.
The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good morning. It is 7 o'clock now on a Thursday morning. It's a pretty calm start to the day, but Jackie is tracking some showers that are expected to move in later this afternoon. But thanks for starting your morning here with us on DC News Now. I'm Tanaya Wright.
Yeah, good morning. I'm Corey James. Shanique will have more on your roads in a moment. Jackie, in terms of that rain, how's it looking?
Yeah, well, out there right now, it doesn't look too nice because we're tracking the overcast skies. Overcasty. Remember that from last week? Was that last week? Yes. Anyway,
It's a blur.
Yeah, it's a blur. Yes, we are tracking the clouds out there. A few showers, though, starting to pop up just south of D.C., right along I-95, just south of Dallas City. Again, those are relatively light. We're also tracking some lighter rain showers back over towards western Maryland and parts of West Virginia at this point. But for much of the region, it is a dry start, but overall clouds are sticking around, and those will stick around through the day today. We'll be watching for this batch of rain continue to move its way from west to east, so through about midday and even into the early afternoon, we'll be watching for some showers and thunderstorms. Current temperatures, those are in the 60s and low to mid 70s, currently 74 in D.C., upper 60s in Hagerstown, 73 in Fredericksburg, and we'll see those high temperatures right around 80 degrees later on today. It's a little bit below normal for this time of the year, but still a bit muggy out there with those dew points into the upper 60s. Again, a few showers through about midday, and we're looking at a few rumbles of thunder later on this afternoon with a few clusters of those popping up. More details on this coming up. Shanika is here with the all-important look at those roadways. How's traffic at this hour?
Well, Jackie, look at all those cars out there on the roadway. You're seeing delays on the outer loop side, and this is right at Forestville at Pennsylvania Avenue. So that outer loop is slow because of an earlier vehicle fire causing a major backup. And you can see here it is heading toward Largo there. Now, if you're in Greenbelt, you're also seeing delays, but that's on the inner loop side, and that's right near Good Luck Road. DC 295 is slow heading south, especially if you're heading toward the Anacostia Freeway. Very, very slow. Topside slow as well, so do beware of that.
Thank you, Shanika. Your time right now is 7:02 on a Thursday.
Let's take a look at your Know and Go headlines this morning. Police and people living in the Capitol Hill neighborhood walked the streets last night as part of a public safety crime walk. Officials say the walks are a way to build relationships and address rising crime. This as those who live in the area say they are tired of living in fear.
Former President Donald Trump says he wants his 2020 election conspiracy trial to be moved out of D.C. His lawyers say he will not get a fair trial in an overwhelmingly Democratic area. Legal experts say they think moving the trial to West Virginia is not likely.
And drivers across Northern Virginia are fighting against a proposal that would raise tolls by more than $2 on Dulles Greenway. The company owning the Greenway says the hikes are necessary to make up losses from the pandemic. All right, time right now is 7:03. Hundreds of people are going on nearly 3 days without water at an apartment complex in Alexandria. This after a water main break Tuesday.
The Alexandria Office of Emergency Management is stepping in now to help those people with water and even taking them to a nearby rec center. Our Tosin Fakile is live at the scene at London Park Towers. So Tosin, is there any update on when these people are going to get their water back on?
Well, tonight I will tell you as to when the water's coming back on. I don't know that just yet, but I did talk to the crews here literally 2 minutes ago, and they tell me they're just tying up a couple things and they should be done here in about an hour. That is what they tell me. We're watching to see what's keep going on. I can tell you what's happened in the last hour since you've come to me is they put in a new pipe into the ground. Let's show you what we're looking at here. We're going to show you that pipe on the ground there. That was the old pipe that was broken. They pulled that out of the ground and then they put a new pipe in the ground here, and this hole that you're you're seeing is where we've seen crews come up in and out of, where they've replaced that new pipe, and residents telling us that yesterday it's been 48 hours without water. They're going on 3 days, and it's not just water they're without. They also don't have air conditioning as well, and the people who live here just want to know when they can get all those facilities back on. Now, last night we saw many people who live here going to get water from a fire hydrant in this area. Alexandria's Office of Emergency Management was here yesterday, and along with Virginia American Water, provided drinking water. City officials also worked with dash buses to shuttle people to the Patrick Henry Rec Center, where they could use the bathroom and get drinking water. Officials also brought in yesterday a huge tank of drinking water for those who live here. Now, they say there are more than 450 units at this apartment complex, and they say it's unclear how many are without water, but they believe a majority of the units don't have water, and residents are very frustrated.
The water's off. The water been off for about 2 days now, and we're trying to find a resolution to this, because right now we trying to find any option to get water.
Now, residents tell DC News Now they have received some emails from management of the complex just communicating the information they're receiving from the crews working on the pipe. Now, if you come back to me live here, we're going to paint that scene again for you. You can see crews standing there. They're actually men down over there where that ladder is reaching at. They've been coming in and out, working to tie up at loose ends and get this pipe going. Now, we also found out from officials, because fire department officials are on the scene and Virginia American Water officials on the scene. We talked to them and they tell us there were multiple breaks at this apartment complex. So this wasn't the only one that happened here. And they also told us that once this gets fixed, the hope is to get the water turned back on here before the end of today. So this is a situation we're monitoring. Of course, we're waiting for fire official spokesperson with the city or the fire department to give us even much more of an update on what is going on here and when these people can get their water back. But for now, we're live in Alexandria. I'm Tosin Fakile for DC News Now. Back to you.
All right, Tosin, thank you. Time right now is 7:06. Drivers across Northern Virginia, they're fighting back against a proposal that would raise tolls on Dulles Greenway. Virginia State Corporation Commission is now accepting public comments on the proposal to increase tolls. That proposal would increase tolls from around $5.80 to more than $8.10 during rush hour. The company that owns the Greenway says the hikes are necessary after pandemic financial losses. Meantime, some drivers say they would change their commutes just to avoid the tolls.
I'll just listen to a podcast for 10, 15 more minutes and avoid that. It's worth our time to drive that road, but it's one thing when it's one Starbucks cup of coffee, but when now we're at two, and you know, at some point people are just saying, I'm not going to do it.
Public comment session will stay open until January 24th. People can testify virtually on January 30th.
Your time right now is 7:07 this morning. DC's Attorney General is stepping in to help with the confusing fees that a lot of you have seen on restaurant bills. He says restaurants need to be more specific about where those fees are going. That advisory was issued yesterday. For example, some restaurants have a 15% service charge to directly compensate staff. Instead, he says they need to say that fee will help pay the base wages and benefits, and that fee is not a tip. This comes as Initiative 82 increased tip minimum wage for servers. Some owners are trying to offset the cost with the service fees.
You're going to say to me, we charge this ethereal, nameless 20% surcharge. This is not a gratuity. What is it?
The examples in the alert are informed by the kinds of complaints and concerns we have heard.
Anyone still confused by the menu fees can make a complaint to the Attorney General's office. All right, well, we have newly released surveillance video capturing the moment Senator Rand Paul's staffer was stabbed while walking along H Street. Now, this all happened back in March.
And we want to warn you, the video you're about to see might be disturbing.
He'd be a good fit for the interphone thing. Yeah. What the What the Go away! Hey, run up! Run!
The staffer's name is Philip Todd. He survived the attack, and according to officials, he was stabbed multiple times in his head and chest. Investigators say the suspect is undergoing a psychiatric evaluation to see if he is competent to stand trial. And an update this morning in former President Donald Trump's latest indictment.
Officials say special counsel Jack Smith obtained a search warrant for the former president's account on Twitter, now known as X. Officials say the warrant resulted in X being fined $350,000. That's because the company did not comply with a court order for 3 days. Officials say the Justice Department also secured a non-disclosure order that prevented X from disclosing the existence of the warrant to anyone, including Trump. Trump bashed the move, accusing the DOJ of violating his civil rights.
Meantime, former President Donald Trump says he wants his 2020 election conspiracy trial to be moved out of D.C. Trump's legal team argued he will not get a fair trial in an overwhelmingly Democratic region. His team would like to move the trial to West Virginia, a state Trump won in the 2020 election. Legal experts say they think the move to the Mountain State is unlikely.
Your time now is coming up on 7:10. According to a New York Times report, U.S. summer camps are seeing an increase in mental health issues among young people. Now, that report also says camp directors have reported more cases of suicidal thoughts, eating disorders, and binge drinking among teens. Experts say that feeling left out and overexposure on social media is leading to the surge in mental health issues. Meantime, as the kids get ready to head back to school, one behavioral science expert says returning to the classroom can be really stressful for most young students. She says parents should be there to help their kids navigate these emotions.
Allowing them to choose maybe what color their notebooks will be, what color their pencils will be, maybe what outfit they're going to wear for the first day of school. Engaging them in that process of preparing really helps them to feel like they have some sense of control.
That expert also says parents can help their kids feel more comfortable by sharing their own experiences on going back to school.
And in Maryland, Frederick County is asking for input on the Frederick to Urbana connection. Officials say more walking and biking routes will provide better access to recreational areas and extra transportation options. If interested, a public survey is available right now on the Frederick County government's website. And Metro is showing off its brand new 60-foot zero emissions bus. Take a look at that there. It just arrived yesterday for testing and commissioning. It's part of Metro's goal to get to 100% zero emission by 2042. And also a reminder that DC students can ride Metro bus or rail for free. A new set of Kids Ride Free Smart Trip cards are being sent to all DC schools for students to pick up when they start classes. And for returning students, last year's cards will work until September 30th. And students between the ages of 5 and 21 could ride on the Metro bus, Metro Rail, or DC Circulator. That is all for free while traveling within the district.